Good morning, everybody. Matt Moda here to give you my favorite MLB home run predictions of the day. We're talking Wednesday, April 23rd. So, yes, the Dong Report is back in your life. I'm going to have three MLB home run picks for you guys to lock in for tonight/today's MLB betting slate. Wednesday means a bunch of day games. So, let's get right into it. But before we can do that, we do have to do a recap from yesterday, which was unfortunately not one of my days. I did not get any of our three guys to hit a home run yesterday. Fernando Tatis, he keeps hitting the crap out of the baseball, but he keeps not being able to get it to go over a fence. And I say keeps, I mean, it's been like 2 days. So I've just gone with him the past 2 days. Vladimir Guerrero, Jonathan Aranda, did not get them to hit a home run either. Luckily, since we play these light, we were only down 0.8 units yesterday. That's kind of the beauty of playing these home runs is you play them light. You hit one, you make money. And then if you don't hit one, we're down less than a unit. That's not terrible. And also, luckily, it's been an insanely hot start to the year. We're up 10 units on 10.8 units, I should say, on the entire season. ROI of 41% is really, really good. And yeah, it's been really good. Obviously, we're hoping to have a better day than going over 3, but 41% ROI, you're up over 40 units if you're just blindly putting 1 unit on every single home run. If you follow my unit size guiding, again, you're up 10.81 units. If you're just a heathen and you put 1 unit on every single home run, you're up over 40 units. So however you want to play these home runs, obviously it is entirely up to you. But it's been, like I said, it's been a good start to the year. This most important number here is that 41% ROI is incredible. We're never going to be able to keep up the hot streak that we've been on over the last week. There's always going to be some cold days when you're betting home runs. Hopefully that's limited to yesterday and we can keep it, we can start another hot streak tonight. But yeah, so enough of that. Let's get into today's picks. As always, we start looking at Ballpark Pal. We start looking at the weather. Ballpark Pal is my favorite MLB tool. I use them for home runs, but you can use them for anything: strikeouts, hits, bases, Herbies, HRR. Even you want to look at game lines like totals, run lines, stuff like that. Ballpark Pal is a phenomenal tool. If you want to check them out, I have a link to them in the description of the video, along with the pinned comment. I can get you 10% off for either the month or 15% off for the year. Anyways, it's not a great weather day for home runs. We see there's not a single game in the green for home runs like we see here for extra base hits in some of these stadiums. And there's actually only 2 games that are even positive. And I actually don't have a play in either of those 2 games. And I do have a lean in a couple games, so I can give you, like I said, leans that I have, but I actually don't have official plays in any of these positive games. The first play that I have here is Austin Riley to hit a home run. Now, normally I show you the batter versus pitcher matchup, but they're just having a little bit of technical difficulties here. But we're going with Austin Riley to hit a home run. He is going up against Miles Michaelis, and the odds here are plus 400 at FanDuel. So if we go over to my Tails account, which is where I send every play out, and I should have had this preloaded, but I forgot. But my Tails account is where I send every single play that I'm on. I first send it out to Tails. So you're able to get stuff in before the odds change. And Austin Riley was a play that I sent out, as you can see right here. So plus 400 is what we got it at. I'll put a quarter unit on this bad boy. Let's make sure the odds haven't changed. Yeah, still plus 400. Actually, on No Vig, if you want to go fishing on No Vig, you can get an even better price. But we're going to track the plus 400 at FanDuel, quarter unit on this bad boy. So Austin Riley, he did not hit a home run yesterday, but he's been red hot at the plate. I mean, you look at his last 5 games, and he's even been hot going past 5 games. But let's just look at the last 5 games. 5 barrels in that stretch, 10 hard hits, hard hit rate of 66.7%. Insane what he's been doing to the baseball. His last 3 games, 2 barrels, 1 barrel. He's just, again, when he's hitting the ball, he's barreling it up, which is exactly what we're looking for someone that's a hot batter. Is, are you hitting the ball hard, and are you putting the ball in the air? Now, yesterday, yes, he only had that 1 hard hit yesterday, but I'm looking at Baseball Savant here, which is just where I look at EV logs and stuff. It was the second hardest hit of the game, 111.2 miles per hour off the bat. He hit the crap out of the baseball. He had too low of a launch angle. If this was up to like 18, 20 degrees, this probably would have been a home run considering how hard he hit it. And he's got a really, really good pitching matchup. Now, what I would show you here is that this is a plus 10 advantage in favor of the batter. So like the ranges for batter versus pitcher matchup goes from -10, which is the biggest advantage in favor of the pitcher, to +10, which is the biggest advantage in favor of the batter. And as we can see here, this is a plus 10 advantage in favor of the batter, which would be in favor of Austin Riley. Like, I can kind of show you how it looks. This one, I think, does load. So this is what it looks like. Like, it'd be extreme advantage for Austin Riley, plus 10. So that's what we're looking at here with Austin Riley. Again, it's extreme advantage, plus 10. In the pitching matchup, it might sound scary. So he's going up against Miles Mikolas. Mikolas actually hasn't given up. Hopefully I'm also pronouncing this guy's last name right. If I'm not, let me know in the comments. He hasn't allowed a home run yet this year, Miles Mikolas, but he's been hit really hard, and he's historically been a dinger guy. So if you look at him in his stats this year, 5 barrels allowed, barrel rate of 7.9%. Now that's not terrible. Like, the worst in the MLB will have a barrel rate of like 10%, but 7.9% will put him in the bottom, probably 15, bottom 20 in terms of barrel rate. Hard hit rate of 42.9% is the same thing. It's not among the worst in the MLB, but it is below average. This is a pretty bad launch angle of 15.3 degrees, and he's allowing a fly ball rate of 41.3%, which is pretty bad in a line drive rate of 22%. So line drive plus fly balls over 60% of the time is not great. And yeah, he hasn't given up a home run, but if you look at his stats in his career, he's historically been a dinger guy. Like, not a horrible one. Again, we're not talking about the worst pitcher in the MLB, but 1.36 is below average. 1.16 isn't terrible, but it's not among the best. We have to go back to 2018 when he had a home run per 9 below 1. And this year, yeah, he hasn't given up a home run. He also hasn't been pitching that well. Like, his expected ERA, 4.63. His expected FIP, which is just ERA with field independent pitching, 5.1. He's been hit hard. He's been lucky in terms of the ball not clearing the fence. And we're talking about an insanely hot batter. Like, if we're going over to DJ Analytics, which is where you can look at exit velocity logs, I'm looking at the players with the most piss missiles over the last 10 games. And look who's number 1 on this list. That would be one Austin Riley. He literally leads the MLB. And a piss missile is anything 100 plus miles an hour off the bat that is between 20 and 40 degree launch angle. Like, if you have that, it's obviously a wider range than what a barrel is, but that's where home runs are hit. Launch angle between 20 and 40 and 100 plus miles an hour off the bat. He's got 9 of them. That's insane. And even if you look at like EV logs, 15 hits above 100 miles an hour over the last 10 games is really, really good. So I feel great about Austin Riley to hit a home run. That is at plus 400 is what I'm looking at. Plus 400 odds at FanDuel. That's play number 1. Play number 2, we're going with Jose Ramirez to hit a home run. This one is best offered at plus 425 odds. I can show you that right here, plus 425. That's best offered at both ESPN Bet. You can also get this plus 425 at Bet365 as well. Now, this is another situation where it is a plus 10 advantage in favor of the batter. Again, I can't go in and show you because for whatever reason the server's down, but that's okay. We still love Ballpark Pal. And yeah, plus 10 is what we're looking for here. Like, obviously the biggest advantage in favor of the batter is good. Now, looking at Jose Ramirez, it's not been an amazing season for him overall, but he's been better recently. Like, you look at his last 3 games, which I get is a small sample size. 2 barrels. So this would have been Sunday and Monday. He had 2 barrels each, 3 hard hits on Sunday, 2 on Monday, and then he only had the 1 hard hit yesterday. But kind of similar to Austin Riley, yeah, it was only 1 hard hit. He smacked the crap out of that baseball. I mean, the EV on this one, 107.4. It was the hardest hit of this entire game. Yeah, that launch angle was terrible, minus 14 degrees, so it was never going to go anywhere. But Jose Ramirez is not somebody that I'm scared of in terms of lifting the ball. He's historically had, like, launch angle of 25 degrees on the year is awesome. You look at his fly ball rate, 56.8% is awesome. And we go to his stats, like last year when he hit 36 home runs, you want to look at what his launch angle was, 19.6 degrees. That's what we're looking for. Put the ball in the air. He just needs to hit the ball a little bit harder than what he had been doing last year. Like, you see that hard hit rate is high 30s, low 40s. This year it's at 32.4%, but he's been hitting the ball better recently. So I do think that we're kind of in the middle of a hot streak for Jose Ramirez. And you go to that fly ball rate. We're looking at that fly ball rate, again, 56.8%. Last year it was 48.9, right? Like, he's putting the ball in the air. Just needs to hit the ball a little bit harder. And he needs to pull it a little bit more as well. But he's always been a good pull hitter. That's why Jose Ramirez is such a good home run hitter despite the fact that his hard hit rate isn't going to be up there with the guys like Judge and Ohtani, because he consistently puts the ball in the air and he consistently pulls the ball. And when you do that, you don't need to hit the ball as hard because you don't need to hit the ball as far for it to be a home run. Now he's going up against Carlos Rodon, who is a pitcher that will allow batters to put the ball in the air. But most importantly, he's a lefty. And Jose Ramirez is significantly better against left-handed pitching. Like, we're going to his splits here. Now, this year, and this might be a little bit to load. This year, it's a small sample size, right? Like, he hasn't faced a ton of lefties. Now, this is taking forever to load on FanGraphs. So we'll go back to Carlos Rodon. He's definitely a dinger guy. You look at his stats this year, 5 barrels, barrel rate 7.9%. Again, it's like Miles Michaelis. It's not the worst in the world. Definitely nothing to be scared of. Hard hit rate, 41.3%. It's pretty bad as well. Now, last year, he allowed a pretty high launch angle and a pretty high fly ball rate. 40% isn't amazing, but it's definitely not anything to be scared of. And you look at him last year, that fly ball rate was all the way up to 49.4%, and that line drive rate was 16.8%. So he's allowing a much higher ground ball rate this year than he ever has in his career. So I'm kind of expecting this to regress to the mean. You look at his launch angle, again, consistently in the teens from 2016 all the way up to last year. Now it's half of what it was last year. I'm expecting that to normalize as well. That's why his barrel rate is down from last year while his hard hit rate is about the same. It's because he's not allowing guys to put the ball in the air. Again, I think that's going to change. So generally, it's a pitcher that allows guys to put the ball in the air against a batter who's good at putting the ball in the air. And now we get the righty versus lefty matchup. So this year, again, it's a small sample size. It's only 20 at-bats, 24 plate appearances against lefties. But we're going down to the advanced stats here. ISO rate, what I want to show you, 300. ISO rate it stands for isolated power. It kind of just like measures how good a batter is at hitting anything that's not a single, doubles, triples, obviously home runs, with home runs counting the most. It's calculated slugging percentage minus average. So that's why it's like isolated power, because it takes away your average. It just looks at your slugging. And then subtracts the average, of course. But yeah, ISO rate of 300 against lefties, 217 against righties, higher against lefties. You go to last year when he was a much, much better home run hitter, and that ISO rate 348 against lefties, which is phenomenal. That's like among the best in the MLB. I mean, that's like Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani level ISO rate versus 226, which is still good. Like anything 200 and above is great. Anything 250 and above is excellent. So again, it's a massive gap between lefties versus righties. And now he's getting a lefty tonight in Carlos Rodon, who's generally been a dong guy. Like if you go just look at his home run per 9, last year it was a grotesque 1.59. 2 years ago it was a grotesque 2.10. And then yeah, this year, while his fly ball rate and all that stuff is down, his actual home runs allowed is about the same to last year. So even though that stuff is down, he's still allowing home runs. So I feel really good about this one. Jose Ramirez is our second player to hit a home run, plus 425 odds. Again, both at Bet365 and ESPN Bet. Again, it's a plus 10 extreme advantage in favor of the batter. I wish I could show you the details, just having the website issues here. But that's play number 2. Our third and final pick of the video is another, not quite plus 10, but another advantage of the batter. I'm going with James Wood to hit a home run. He is best offered at plus 500, pretty much across the board. You can get 500 basically anywhere. This is the only play that technically isn't positive expected value according to Ballpark Pal. They have his true odds at 681. We're getting it at plus 500. I love obviously Ballpark Pal, but there are situations where I'll bet something that's not positive expected value. The reason why is because there's not a ton of data both off of James Wood and the pitcher that he is going up against. Now, luckily, James Wood has been hitting the absolute piss out of the baseball, and he's going up against a pitcher that gets hit hard. So it's theoretically a match made in heaven. And just to show you guys, plus 500 across the board here. And again, quarter unit on all three of these bad boys. So James Wood, he's been red hot at the plate. We're looking at his game log here. He had like a minor lull where he wasn't hitting it. He was hitting the ball hard, but wasn't hitting it a ton, specifically over 100 miles an hour. But you look at his game yesterday. My scrolling thing is having an issue. As my dog, it says hello, which means James Wood is absolutely going to hit a home run. So we're looking at his exit velocity from yesterday. I want to show you. He had 3 of the top 4 hardest hits in the entire MLB yesterday. Double that traveled 376 feet was a home run in 16 out of 30 stadiums. That's brutal. That not being a home run is tough. He had another double that had too low of a launch angle, but 108.5 miles per hour off the bat. And then here he has the single 107.6 miles per hour off the bat. 3 hits above 107 miles an hour is insane. You go and look at like how he has been hitting the ball over the last 10 games. 10 hits above 100 miles an hour, 5 piss missiles. The most important thing here is his fly ball rate, 31%. He's hitting the ball hard, and he's putting the ball in the air on these hard hits. And that's exactly what you're looking for, is a guy to hit the ball hard and a guy to put the ball in the air. The pitcher he's going up against, he's obviously like a newer guy in the MLB, but he really has not been good this year. I mean, you look at his stats. This is a bad barrel rate. 12.3% barrel rate is terrible. 41% hard hit rate isn't the worst in the MLB, but because he's allowing batters to hit the ball in the air, that's why that barrel rate is so low. Fly ball rate, 37% isn't a terrible fly ball rate, but when you add in the 23% line drive rate, that's when it gets pretty bad. That's what, at 60% combined fly ball plus line drive rate. That's pretty bad. You look at his stats here. His home run per 9, 1.74 is also pretty bad. New pitcher to the MLB. Maybe he figures it out, but his stuff is all below average. Like looking at his stuff plus, which is measured by FanGraphs. It measures, when stuff plus measures like spin rate, velocity, movement, all that stuff on a pitch, and it gives it a grade. 100 is completely average. So anything lower than that is below average. Anything above that is obviously above average. And the only pitch that he throws well is the slider, which I think he barely throws. If I remember correctly, the slider is his number 1 or number 2 pitch in terms 17% of the time. So maybe not really that much. He throws a ton of pitches, doesn't really throw them that well. So yeah, James Wood didn't hit a home run yesterday. I'm okay with that because he hit a double that would have been a home run in 16 out of 30 ballparks. He hit the living crap out of the baseball. So I feel really good about going with him. Again, that's at plus 500 odds, pretty much across the board. So not a ton of value from an odds shopping perspective, but I don't worry about that a ton with home runs because, I mean, it's really hard to price home runs. But yeah, those are our 3 official bangers for today. I'm going to give you guys some leans, especially in the late games as well, since 2 of the games are early. But it's Austin Riley to hit a home run. It's Jose Ramirez to hit a home run. And it's James Wood to hit a home run. If all 3 of these guys come through for us, then we will profit, if you let my spreadsheet do the work here, 3.31 units. That would be amazing. If one of these guys hit a home run, we will be guaranteed to be profitable. So let's hope for that. In terms of leans, there were a couple that I had in the night games. One of them was I like Brent Rooker, but I actually like Shea Langeliers a little bit better. I wanted better odds on him than plus 425. I think he's a good bet. He is a plus 10 advantage over the pitcher he's going up against, Kumar Rocker. Rocker is not he gets hit hard, but he's not a huge dinger guy in terms of the ball being put in the air. But Shea Langeliers performs really well against Rocker's pitch mix. So of the 2 on the Athletics between Langeliers and Rooker, I actually like Langeliers better. He had 2 hard hits yesterday. One of them was a fly ball. So he's still being able to put the ball in the air. Again, I just didn't like the odds. I wanted better than plus 425 for him. And then the other lean that I had, and this is another one in the night game, is Taylor Ward. This is another plus 10 advantage in favor of the batter. As you can see, obviously, I try to look for situations where we're getting the best odds. We're getting the best advantage in favor of the batter. This one, if I were to add a 4th play, it probably would be Taylor Ward, honestly. It's slightly positive EV according to Ballpark Pal, which is pretty good. Plus 450 at FanDuel isn't terrible. Plus 441 is the true line. It's one of the 2 games that's positive from a home run perspective as well. Angel Stadium isn't always good for home runs, but the wind is blowing out. So that's pretty good. The pitcher he's going up against, Andrew Heaney, isn't a dinger guy, but he's not a dinger guy. He throws a fastball, which Ward is average against. So yeah, if I was adding a 4th play, it would probably be Ward over Langeliers for that last pick. But it's a gross slate for home runs, so I don't want to force it with too many guys. But the Ward one, I mean, hey, if one of my guys hits a home run early, I might add Taylor Ward late. So I guess that is a reminder to everything I send out first goes out to Tails. It's just a way for you guys to lock stuff in before the odds change, or if you don't want to watch the YouTube videos. And then I also will put out everything for free regardless on YouTube and on Twitter. So if you don't want to pay, that's totally fine. You can still give out everything for free. Twitter is at Jedi Modi. But anyways, that's all we got. So it's the 3 official bangers for you guys to lock in, plus 2 leans, plus maybe a 4th one added. And yeah, that's all we got. So thank you guys for watching. If you're interested, make sure to check out Ballpark Pal. Put a link to them in the description of the video. Link to my Tails account. Put a link to that in the description of the video. Make sure to bet responsibly and have a good one.